If you have been stopped by the police in this country in the last few weeks, at the wheel, at your door, on the pavement, there is a recording of it. It exists tonight. It is sitting on a server somewhere with your face and your voice on it. It is your data. You can ask for a copy and it costs you nothing at all. Almost nobody asks. Most have no idea they are allowed to. And the ones who do assume it must involve a solicitor or a fee or a good reason. And none of those things is true. And the reason I am putting this out today, rather than next month, is that the recording is on a clock which is already running, and it is far shorter than you would guess. And here is the mistake that costs people everything. So I will deal with it in the first minute, because it is the whole video. People think you send for the footage because you have a complaint. You do not. You send for it before you know whether you have one, because by the time you have decided you were treated badly, thought it over, talk to your family, and worked yourself up to doing something, the recording has already gone. My name is Oliver Bennett, and for more than 15 years, I defended people in police stations across England and Wales, which mostly meant sitting beside somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning, reconstructing from memory alone an encounter the other side had filmed in its entirety, which taught me the thing this video is built on. You almost never win it on the pavement. Arguing at the roadside changes nothing and usually makes it worse. You win it afterwards in writing, where a can person with a paper trail stands on one side and an officer who could not name his power stands on the other. England and Wales only, and every quote goes on screen, so you are not taking my word for it. So how long have you actually got? And I have to be careful here, because there is a number repeated all over the internet as though it were low, and it is not low. The number you will hear is 31 days. It comes from Home Office guidance on CCTV that systems should hold footage for 31 days for any investigation to become apparent and then delete it. That is where it comes from. It is a benchmark, not a statute. Because the real answer is set by your force, not by Parliament. The guidance is explicit that it is the data controller's responsibility to devise a policy and that forces must have and publish one. So the honest answer to how long have I got is it depends who stopped you. And this is the part that should worry you rather than reassure you. The pressure runs downward. The same guidance says that if a force keeps the 31 days, it should develop a strong justification as to why it is not practicable to delete non-evidential footage after a shorter period. Shorter, not longer. And here is their own guidance on ordinary footage. Footage not relevant to any criminal investigation or prosecution. It should normally be deleted in line with local force information management policies. Read that as what it plainly is, an instruction to get rid of it, which is exactly the position you are in. Nothing came of your stop, no charge, no case, nothing at all. And that is precisely the footage the system is built to throw away, because it has no reason to keep it. The very thing that made you relax about it is the thing that deletes it. So do not treat this as a month, treat it as days, and act this week. If your force turns out to hold it longer, you have lost nothing by being early. If your force holds it a fortnight, being early is the only thing that saved it. Now, for the next time it happens, and there will be a next time, there are about 30 seconds of work at the scene that make everything afterwards possible. Not confrontation, just collecting. The officer's name or collar number, the incident or reference number, if there is one, the date, the time, and the location as precisely as you can manage on which force it actually was. Because on a motorway or near a county boundary, it is very often not the one you assume. And understand why, because it is not what people think. You are not building a case, you are building a search. Somebody in an office has to find one recording among thousands. And the more precisely you can point at it, the likelier they find it before it is gone. A vague request is a slow request, and slow is fatal here, right? The request itself, it has a name, and using it matters because it makes you sound like somebody who knows what they are doing rather than somebody to be managed. It is a subject access request. You are not asking a favor and not making a complaint. You are exercising a right of access to your own personal data, and a recording of your face and voice is your personal data, and it is free, not cheap, free. The regulator's position is that in most circumstances, an organization cannot charge a fee to deal with a request. There is a narrow exception for requests that are manifestly unfounded. or excessive, or for further copies of something already sent. Asking once for your own stop is neither of those. And on footage specifically, you must give someone a copy of the footage if it contains their data, unless an exemption applies, or if they agree, arrange for them to come and view it instead. And they have 1 month without undue delay and at the latest within 1 month of receiving it, and the clock starts the day after it arrives. Worth knowing precisely because a force that has drifted past that is a force you now have something to say to and there is no form to fill in. A request can be made verbally or in writing. There is no prescribed format at all. So if it is free and there is no form and they have a month, why does anybody get it wrong? Because the request that works and the request that gets shrugged off look almost identical. And the difference is a few lines most people do not know to include. The most important is this: ask them in the request itself to preserve the footage while they deal with you. And I want to be straight about what that is. It is not a magic legal instrument, and there is no statute called a preservation request. It is a sensible sentence that puts the force on notice that the material is wanted before their own retention clock does what it was built to do. It costs you 1 line, and it is the line people most often leave out. And I have written them all out for you. Make Them Pay is the handbook version of this channel, and the part that does the work is the 5 template letters in the back. The subject access request with the preservation wording already in it, the chase letter for when they ignore you, the formal complaint, a skeleton letter of claim, and the evidence log to fill in tonight. 40 pages, $14.99 at noitsuc.gumroad.com/lmakedem_pay. That code on screen takes you straight there. Point your phone at it now, and I will keep going while you do. And to be clear about what you are buying, because I would rather you did not waste your money. Everything I have told you tonight, you can do yourself for nothing. The right is free, the request is free, and I have just given you what to put in it. What the book saves you is the writing and knowing what to do when it goes wrong. If you are happy to draft your own letter, draft your own letter. And I mean that. And now the part most videos on this leave out because it is not the fun bit. They can refuse you. Not always and not casually, but there are grounds and you should know them before a letter arrives that upsets you. Section 45 of the Data Protection Act lets a force restrict the right of access in full or in part where it is necessary and proportionate to avoid obstructing an official or legal inquiry or to avoid prejudice to the investigation or prosecution of criminal offenses. That is a real restriction, and I'm not going to pretend it is a technicality. If there is a live investigation, material may be held back. But notice how narrow it is. It must be necessary, it must be proportionate, and they must be able to explain why. An ordinary stop where nothing happened to anybody is not an investigation, and there is nothing there to prejudice. And then the commonest outcome of all, which is not a refusal at all. It is silence. No acknowledgement, no explanation, nothing saying they are looking into it. The month goes by, then another fortnight, and you hear nothing from anybody. Most people take that as the end of the road. It is not. It is the point at which this moves out of the force's hands. Chase it once in writing and keep the copy. Refer to the date you send the original. Refer to the 1 month limit and ask for a response by a date you name rather than leaving it open. Keep it civil. An angry chase letter gets forwarded to somebody senior and slows down. A short, dated, specific one gets answered. And if that produces nothing, you go to the Information Commissioner's office. That is the regulator which policies this right. Complaining is free, and a force that has ignored a subject access request well past the deadline is squarely what they exist for. The free routes are real, and they are usually the right first move. The commissioner is free, citizens' advice is free, and specialist actions against the police solicitors will usually give you a free first view of a case. And the honest bit, which I would rather say now than have you find out later. The footage might not help you. It might show the officer behaving perfectly properly and you having a bad evening. And that happens more often than the internet would have you believe. So, this is not a way to make something out of nothing. A complaint that is exaggerated or dishonest is an offense in itself. And it collapses and it takes any genuine part of your case down with it. But here is why you send for it anyway, and it is the argument I would make to anybody. You cannot make a fair decision about what happened to you once the only objective record of it has been destroyed. Getting it back is how you find out whether you have anything at all. Not getting it is how you never find out. So the footage of your stop exists tonight, and it is your data. The clock is set by your force, so treat it as days rather than weeks. The request is free. There is no form, and they have 1 month to answer from the day after it lands. If they ignore you, chase once in writing, then take it to the Information Commissioner, which is also free, and do it before you have worked out whether you were wronged. That is the whole message, and it is the only part of this with a deadline on it. Deciding can wait as long as you like. The evidence cannot wait at all, and send it to whoever you know it happened to. The one who came home furious about a stop and then let it go. Letting it go is exactly what a retention policy counts on. Somebody watching was stopped a fortnight ago and has not thought about it since. The recording is still there tonight and may well not be by the end of the month. They have days rather than weeks, and they almost certainly have no idea. I am Oliver Bennett. Ask for it in writing, ask this week, and never argue on the pavement.